Well, the fight over Balboa Park continues as more and more businesses and museums, they are voicing their concerns over the parking program.
Joining us now, Peter Kaminsky, the Executive Director of the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you.
I'm doing well, thank you. This paid parking, how is it impacting the businesses in Balboa Park?
It's been dramatic and it's been highly impactful. So just out of 1 week, we took surveys of all the organisations. They looked at their visitation year on year. Some of those organisations, everyone's down. Some of those organisations are down 20%. One or two of the organisations down 50, 60% in visitation. The Free Tuesday, where we love to welcome our visitors into the park, down 20 to 30%. The holiday weekend down 40%. It's consistent and it's dramatic, and it's something we need to address as soon as we can.
And you said year over year, because when we had the mayor here, he was saying, well, we don't know if that was just from last week. You're saying this is year over year, so that's a notable difference. Were you guys surprised at just how drastic this drop in attendance was? Because I know you guys were kind of fearing that this moment was going to come and that something like this was going to happen. Did you think it would be as bad as it has been so far?
Well, I would argue we did not, but I think the real difference is twofold. One is in our impact on local visitation. That has been bad, really bad. And the second is the impact on the medium and smaller organisations, which is outsized compared. So many museums are down 20%. The medium and smalls are down 50, 60%. Wow. That's the craziness. Our local visitation during the first week, our tourist population down 2 or 3%. That's okay for this time of year and economy, and locals 25%. So this is something that is hitting our locals, our county and our city much, much harder than our tourists.
You sent a letter yesterday, Mayor Gloria's office. What did you hope to gain from that letter?
What we still hope to gain from that letter, and what we look forward to, is that both Mayor and Council will see the importance and the impact that it's having, and identify opportunities. We very much look forward to sitting down with Mayor and Mayor's staff, looking forward to sitting down with Council and identifying that these impacts can't go on. We recognise the Mayor has said, you know, we need long-term data. Well, I'm sorry, but if long-term data means the experience in Balboa Park suffers, if long-term data means museums close, we don't need long-term data. We need to address these issues now, and we need to address them comprehensively.
You said you're looking forward to speaking with the council and with the mayor. Have these conversations not happened in person? Maybe go and have a meeting in person, face-to-face with the mayor and talk about this, because his numbers were over here, your numbers were over here. And like you said yesterday in this news conference, the math just doesn't add up. Why not have a conversation and talk about the math? Or are they not willing to meet, or where do we stand now? You sent the letter, now what?
I'm very comfortable that Mayor will be supportive. He wants a great Balboa Park. He wants a wonderful San Diego. These numbers are new. The council action on these also new. We have now started re-engaging with council, and we look forward to doing the same thing with the mayor as well.
Yeah, the mayor did have a statement that he sent in response to this big news conference that you guys had yesterday, and here's what he said. He said the paid parking program is created to design a dedicated source of revenue for the park. It must be based on clear long-term data that you just talked about, not a few weeks of initial operation. So the money's going to go to benefit the park is what the mayor is saying. Kind of explain that to us and how that works with the city.
Originally, the argument was that this is a fund that would go towards the very necessary capital improvement of the park. It's in the hundreds of millions at the moment. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
The parking revenue won't deliver that. The parking revenue has basically now been flipped into also supporting the operations of the park, which in code is general fund. That's okay. But we would love to have the discussion, because the community needs to have that discussion too. But it needs to be mayor, council and community about the long-term benefit and operations of Balboa Park. We want to have that discussion. We want to have it where it's a position of strength for the park, not a position where the park needs to recover even more.
When the mayor was here, he talked about the free parking that's also available. His office says that there are 3 hours of free parking at Inspiration Point with the tram service. Do you know how many parking spots that is offhand?
It's about 800, I believe.
800 for free parking spaces. Do you want to see more areas? Is there a way to find a balance where there's charging for some areas and more free parking spots, or you just don't
I do want to see more. I want the whole park to be free. Parking in Balboa Park should be free. If for no one else than our county and local residents, let's just say Balboa Park should be free parking. Part of the reason is you're not going to come to the park if there's a question about whether you can park or not. Those same spaces are used for team members, for the high school, for everybody else to park. So there's a really good chance you're not going to visit the park because you don't know if you're going to get one of those free parking spaces. Balboa Park should be, is now, and can be in the future an amazing asset, not just economically, but operationally for us.
I'm just sharing what the mayor said when he was here, but he had mentioned that many of those parking spaces were also taken by volunteers and people that work there. And now he said, we don't hear this very often, but there's people who say now I can finally get a parking spot and be able to go, because it was very difficult to be able to get parking spots before. What do you say to that?
I think parking management is a really important goal. And I believe we could have achieved many of the same outcomes of parking management without the myriad of negatives that right now are coming along, including negative economic impact on operations that actually provide the core Balboa Park experience. That's what we have to work on.
So the letter has been sent to the mayor. You're hoping for meetings. What can San Diegans do to have their voices heard regarding, there's a lot of people, a lot of opinions out there. So what can San Diegans do today? And then what is next for your organization? What do you guys plan to follow up with?
Not just today, but right now, we would love everybody to visit savebalboapark.org. They can express their concerns either within one of our letters or within their own. Savebalboapark.org. Very simple, couple of clicks and you're done. But we also want them to get involved, not just in this short-term discussion. This is really important, but also the long-term support and discussion about Balboa Park. We know this is a huge community asset. We know our community adores the park. Let's work out how to make it better, and let's work out how to make it sustainable over time.
All right, Peter Comiskey with the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership. We thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.